Hello. In this video, I'm going to give a quick overview of MCA Suite's broker features and functionalities. MCA Suite is a CRM designed to manage all your MCA relationships, and one way of thinking of us is as a specialized address book. To that end, everyone you work with should be added as a contact in MCA Suite, since contacts are a big component driving our system. MCA Suite considers a contact to be either a company contact or a person contact. For example, a merchant company and its owner. For every new contact you create, there is a contact type that will be selected. This is an essential designation, as the contact type will determine how the contact will be used in the MCA process. A single contact can have multiple contact types. Just make sure to use the correct ones so that contact is used appropriately in MCA Suite. MCA Suite's second main driving component is the deal. A deal is created when a merchant applies for a cash advance. It is regarded in MCA Suite as a file consisting of several different moving parts until the deal is ultimately funded or declined. There are two ways for brokers to create deals in MCA Suite, and I will now go through those two main methodologies. Depending on your business structure and the amount of information you have at any one time, you will either start the process from the point of the MCA application or the point of entering leads. Let's begin with the lead management portion. A lead is basically a name. It is a merchant contact person who has shown some interest in applying for a cash advance, and it is your job to enter their contact information, pre-qualify the lead, collect information, and ultimately send off an MCA application. In other words, a lead is the same thing as a contact person, just with a unique status that will isolate them onto the lead sheet for convenience. Once the lead is sent an MCA application, it will be converted into an active contact/deal. There are several ways to enter leads into your MCA Suite system. You can upload them as you would any contact. We allow for contact importing, or they can be created manually, which is what we are going to do for the purpose of this demo. To begin, navigate to your lead sheet, which is where we are now. You can choose to enable your lead sheet on your account during account setup. Now click the Add Lead button. You are brought to a standard address book entry page for a new person contact. The only difference is we give you the option to choose a contact person status. So here's the drop-down with the contact statuses. Lead and assigned are the two lead type status. Active is if the contact has an active deal with them. And decline if you decide to decline the lead, but it will remain part of your contacts. So again, the two lead type statuses are lead and assigned. We also automatically check off the merchant contact type for you. All you need to do here is enter in the name of the lead, but you can create the company record at the same time if you have that information, as well as any other details you have available. So all I needed to do is just put in the name of the lead, but I'll go ahead and add some more information. And I'll create the company record at the same time. If the company does not already exist, we will create the new record for you. Once you are happy with the information you've entered, click on Save. This will create the lead and instantly take you to the list of qualifying questions. These questions are basically the script your agents run through when pre-qualifying a lead and can be customized during your account setup. So you will customize the questions that you ask and the questions you'd like to see on the screen. These questions and answers do not have any effect on calculations or logic determinations. They are mainly there for reference purposes and to replace the script your agents use so that everything can be contained in MCA Suite. So none of these are required, I'll just go ahead and answer a few for the sake of the demo. Once you're finished answering the questions that you have available, you'll go ahead and click Save. And we are brought back to the lead sheet. Now let's look for the lead that we just created. And there he is. From here, you can perform a number of activities from the Action column using the Actions button. You can answer more qualifying questions by returning to that screen. You can add a note related to the lead, add a task related to the lead, such as call after 3 p.m., schedule a follow-up, collect owner information, etc. As an admin, you can assign those tasks to your individual agents. You can also automatically decline the lead. As I mentioned earlier, doing this simply places the lead into a declined status. It will be removed from your lead sheet, but remain part of your contact pool in case you choose to resurrect business with this merchant at a future date. The key action available here is the Add Application option. This is the function that will convert the lead into an active contact and create a deal file for the merchant. This is our new MCA application page. Now, the MCA application screen may not look like your exact application, but it is not meant to. It serves as a capture form to create 3 records at once: the deal with the amount requested, the merchant company, and the merchant contact person as far as the owners, either 1 or 2 owners. The company and owner names copied over from the lead, so you do not need to re-enter them. All you need to do at this point is put in an amount requested to create the deal. That is basically all that is required to fill out this form, but if you have more details, please do enter them at this time, because any information you enter here will 1. Be copied to the deal file, 2. Can be used as part of the Email and Submit app feature. This feature allows you to take this information, copy it onto your exact application template, and email it to the merchant at the same time you create the deal in MCA Suite. This is one aspect of the document merge capabilities MCA Suite offers. I'm not going to review that process in this demo, but we'll link below our tutorial specifically on the Email and Submit app feature. For now, I will just enter in some required information and additional information to see later in the deal. The qualifying questions are stored here as well, and you can continue to answer them at this point. Once you're happy with the information you've entered, you can click Submit to submit the application and create the deal, or submit an email app to do the same thing, create the deal, but at the same time merge this info onto your application and send it off to the merchant. I want to mention permissions very briefly. Every new record you create in MCA Suite will give you the option to choose a permission setting to it, so you can determine who can view which records. Everyone will be the most global setting, the most inclusive, so that everyone that can access your main MCA Suite can look at this record. And this one here is the most exclusive. This is the User Plus option. It's saying that I can view this page because I am the owner of it. Admins can view it because admins always have full access to the entire system. And then any additional agents we want to add can also view these records. Bear in mind, the MCA application is controlling 3 records: the deal, the company, and the contact person. So this permission setting will copy to all 3 of those records. For right now, we'll just leave it as everyone. Again, once I'm happy with the information I've added, I will just click on Submit. Doing this does 3 things. It creates the new deal file, ties the deal to the merchant company and merchant owner, and 3, removes the merchant from your lead sheet. If we go back to our lead sheet and we look for that lead, He is no longer there because he has been converted into an active contact with an active deal file. You will now need to refer to the deal file to work further with this merchant. If you have at least the amount requested, the company name, and the owner's first and last names, you can bypass the entire lead management portion and go directly to the Add MCA Application screen. Both approaches will ultimately bring you to this deal summary page once the deal is created. The difference is just how much information you have to start. So if you have the deal amount, the company name, and the owner's name, you can go directly to the MCA app page. If all you have is the name of the interested owner or interested contact, you'll need to begin by creating a lead and then going through the lead management process, ultimately to arrive to this deal page. So this is our new deal. You can see the deal summary page shows the deal name, the company, and the contact person. We have united all these records into one file. From here, you can update the status of your deal. Statuses will be manually created and updated by you, and are essentially keywords marking the milestones of a deal's progress. Things like new, awaiting application, application received, collecting docs, submitted, funded, etc. You can create these unique deal statuses as part of your account setup. To update the status of a deal, mouse over to the shortcut key, dashboard here. So this dashboard is available on every page and has a number of shortcut keys. Click the second button down that looks like a pencil icon, and the Add a Note modal will appear. Choose your status from the drop-down here. So these are all the statuses we have available on our instance. I will go ahead and choose Application Sent as my status. You can create a note if you want to. It's not required, but if you wanted to add more details, you could. And down here, you can choose the name of an internal user to actually email them the note. So they'll receive a copy of the note, as well as a link directly to the deal. And you would do this in case you need to let someone know this update has happened so they can follow up, or they can just be made aware of the update. Once you're happy with your selections, click on Save. And we have now updated the status of the deal. Statuses are important because they do drive a lot of reporting in MCA Suite, and they enable you to more easily locate your deals. So if we go back to our deals search page, we do have a status for, we do have a filter for status. We'll go ahead and choose the status we just created. And this quickly shows you all the deals currently in that status, including the one we just modified. I'll go ahead and click back into the deal. As a broker, your next stop in the deal will be the Documents tab. This is essentially your merchant file. As part of the merchant cash advance process, you generally collect documents from the merchant such as driver's license, processing statements, voided checks, etc. MCA Suite offers you a centralized place to upload all these documents. Each page has an attachments feature, and anything uploaded to the Documents tabs can then be sent as part of a submission to an outside funder. As you can see, any details we entered on the initial MCA app screen copied over to these pages as well. So I entered some of this information at the point of the application, and here it is, so you don't need to enter those details twice. These are mainly manual entry pages, but we do have a few integrations available that I'd like to mention. We work with Microbilt to pull credit reports from the 3 main reporting bureaus. We also work with Microbilt to do an instant verification check. And if you have an account with Decision Logic, we will work with them to pull banking information that we'll copy here and bundle up bank statements down here. Otherwise, you would need to do manual entries for each month as far as balance and deposit information and add the attachments of the bank statements yourself. Please see the links below on both Microbilt and Decision Logic information for more details about those integrations. I'll go ahead and add a couple of attachments. We have them available for the submission portion of the demo. So to add attachments, I'll just go down to the Add Attachments area, click Add Files, and then choose Files from my computer. I'll do multi-file uploads. Give it a second. And now those files will be available later on when I want to do a submission to a lender regarding this deal. We also have a checklist page. This page will show a universal checklist of items you typically require for every deal. So you'll create this checklist as part of your account setup, again with those universal items always required, things like signed applications, driver's license, credit reports, bank statements, etc. If there is an item unique just to this deal that won't appear on every new deal, but it's unique just to this one, you can add it here as a unique item. You'll mark off an item as complete, and we'll timestamp it with the time and date it was marked as complete, as well as the user who marked it as complete. If an item is typically universal, but for whatever reason not applicable to this particular deal, you can click the NA button to just strike through it so that no one thinks that they need to collect it for this deal, and then you can also undo the non-applicable designation to restore the item to your checklist. And you can add attachments here as well. Again, these attachments will be available as part of the submission process that you can send off applications to other lenders. Speaking of submissions, let's move on to that feature. Assuming you've collected all the required documents, you will be ready to submit this merchant file to multiple lenders for funding consideration. The submission feature allows users to send and track submissions and related correspondence with outside funders. There are 3 ways to track submissions in MCA Suite. The first is manual. You would choose this if you are not using the system to actually send the submission. So you would select this option if you are using a portal to submit, for example, or are simply emailing back and forth between the lender. This way, all you need to do is track the fact the submission was sent and record any offers that come in. To actually submit through MCA Suite, you will choose one of the other 2 options, and those are email and attachments and email and a link. Both methods work in basically the same way, the difference being that email and attachments will attach any supporting documents to the actual email the lender receives, whereas email and a link will store those documents on a secure link and send that link to the lender as part of the submission application. This is the better way to send the submission, as we have seen many funders reject large attachments, and you do not want to be emailing updates to the files every time the merchant provides more information. Before we get into this, the first step in the submission process is to create your funder contact. To do this quickly, click on the Add Company shortcut key, which is the one that looks like an office building. You can enter the lender name, mark it off as a funder, and that is basically all you need to create the company quickly. If you have more information, obviously you can add it at this time, but all we need is the company name and the contact type designated as funder. We'll click on Save. Funders have a special tab that no other contact type has, called Submission Profile. This is where you determine the email addresses that will be emailed when submitting to this particular funder. You can choose to send to multiple email addresses at the same funding company. Just separate those email addresses with a comma. This password field is asking for a password the funder will use to log into the link if you choose the email and link method of submission. And this is actually the method that I will review for the demo. So let's go to an existing funder company so I can show you these details. We'll go to our Contacts tab. We'll filter by funder. And these are all our current funder companies. So again, we'll click into the Submission Profile tab, which is unique to funder companies only. And you can see we have the email address that will be sent when I submit to this lender, the password they can use to log into the secure link if you choose the email and link option, and then some underwriting guidelines to basically describe what this lender requires before they can consider a submission. So now let's return to the submission portion of the deal. I'm going to choose email and link as my submission method. Click Add. And this brings you to the submission setup page. This will list all your funder contacts that have email set up on that submission profile page, which is why the page is so important. So even though you may have added 50 funders, if they don't have an email address listed on that submission profile tab, they won't appear on this list. You can do a blast of all your lenders or select particular ones. You can also choose files from the ones you've uploaded to the documents or checklist pages. So I'll go ahead and choose this one funder, and I'll choose a couple of the available files. Again, any files you upload to documents or checklists will then be available to send as part of the submission. In addition to deal statuses, you can create submission statuses that will relate to the submission only. So the deal status is a little bit broader, and the submission status will be very specific to the submission alone. So this is the link that the lender will see when they view the email. You can add text to the email. We automatically subject the email with new submission - the name of the merchant. And you can also create email templates, which are boilerplate text messages that you constantly use in your email. So you might have a standard submission email, a standard application email, a standard welcome email, etc. If you have such a template created, you can go ahead and choose it, and we'll automatically fill out the body of the email with that text. Once you're happy with your selections here, you can go ahead and click Send to send off the submission. So on one hand, we have created the submission here. You can see that the entry now has the name of the lender as well as the last status update note. I will go ahead and log into my email, and I can view the email that was sent from MCA Suite here. And here's that View Files link. So I'll click back, make sure that I get the right password for that lender. Use that to log into the View Files link. Click Enter. And this is what the lender would see if they were to log into that View Files link with the password. So we have some information about the deal, the company, and the owner. Again, those qualifying questions appear here with the answers we have entered. And then here are all the relevant files that we sent as part of the submission. If you didn't choose the link option, then these attachments would just appear as attachments to the email, and the lender would not see this information unless you included it yourself in the body of the email. After the file has been sent to the lenders, you will see multiple submission records here on the submission main page. We only sent to the one, but if you sent to multiple, they would appear here. To enter offers or edit the submission, click the View button next to the particular submission you want to adjust or modify. You may receive multiple offers from the same funder, and you can track them here so you're able to present them all to the merchant when the offers are in. So to create the offers, we'll go to the offer section here and click on Add. So here is the advance amount. We'll put in the factor and automatically calculate the payback for you, or put in the payback to automatically calculate the factor. We'll put in the number of payments. This is important because this will be the term that we use for the deal. So let's say the lender says 250, and then we can calculate the expected daily rate based on that term. Or conversely, we can put in the daily rate and then calculate the turn based on what is expected to collect each day. Once you're happy with these details, you'll click on Save. And let's go ahead and add another offer. And now both offers are listed here with the details. If we go back to the submission tracking main page, we'll see, again, the general submission and then each offer stacked here as well. So you can see at a glance what's been returned from the lender. On this page is also a funding stipulations area. Again, this is similar to the checklist for the deal. We actually copy over the same items from the checklist, but if there are additional stipulations that the lender requires as part of the submission, you can add them here. You can check off the items like we did on the deal, mark them as non-applicable, again like we did with the deal. You can also add submission statuses to keep track of the submission particularly. So again, you can create deal statuses to track the entire deal and submission status notes to track this submission specifically. I can go ahead and enter a note, for example. And then I can also email the note internally to users the same way that we emailed the deal note. When the merchant makes a choice, we'll go ahead and choose the particular offer. This will pop up a funding modal, since by selecting the offer, this is how we are going to call this deal funded or tracked in MCA Suite. Enter in the funding details, so put in a funding date, the advance amount, factor, and payback copy over from the offer. These fees are not required, so you don't need to put in a fee amount, but if you wanted to put in a junk or admin fee, for example, you could do so here. We'll update the submission and the deal status at the same time. Let's say this is automatically funded. You can put in a note. And then we can also update our other submissions. For the sake of the demo, I only did the one, but let's say I had 5 other submissions and I didn't want to leave them open or seen to still be pending. I can go ahead and choose a status like withdrawn or not selected to automatically update them and technically close them out. Once you're happy with the items that you've entered here, we'll go ahead and click on Save. You'll see a confirmation message because we are basically tracking this deal in the system at this point. We're calling it funded, so we want to make sure that you are serious about calling it funded and you've put in the correct details. If so, we'll go ahead and click OK. And you will now see that the offers that we selected is highlighted in orange and that we now have a deal tracking page that appears. This is a new page that we didn't see before, and this is the page that appears once the deal is considered funded in MCA Suite. And this page shows all the pre- and post-funding information, as well as payment details and collection method information about the deal. As a funder, you would post payments to this page and track the metrics as the deal is paid back. But as a broker, this page is still important to you because we use it to estimate amounts repaid so you can offer renewal opportunities to your merchants once they pass a certain repayment threshold. MCA Suite can help notify you to contact the merchant when that threshold estimate has been reached. So now this deal is considered funded in the system, and this completes our demo. I've taken you from the point of creating a new lead, creating a new application, through to the deal and document collections, submission, and now deal tracking. We hope you found this quick overview helpful. Please contact us at support@mcasuite.com to schedule a more thorough personal demo so we can review the hundreds of additional features we have available or discuss any questions you may have. Thank you for your time and interest in MCA Suite.